What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Movie Mob Podcast, where today we're going to be reviewing The Penguin Episode 3 on HBO Max. Actually, it's just called Max these days, but I can't say that because Max is our brilliant producer from behind the camera sitting back
Going
there
on.
with Joshua Tree. Joshua, nice to see you. Thanks so much. Joining me on set, as usual, is the wonderful and glorious Matt Sampson with your 80s getup here.
Yep.
The acid wash jeans and the white shirt.
Thank you.
Looking nice, looking nice.
Thanks, man.
Yep, it's like
Yep.
an old commercial. And live joining us from Gotham City. I appreciate the fact that you were able to make this work today for joining us. RJ Carreri, as usual. Thank you, RJ, for joining us.
Good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. Okay, so Penguin Episode 3. RJ, what'd you think?
Well, I got to be honest with you.
No,
I
please
thought
lie
this
to
was
me.
brilliant. All right. No, this is the best episode of the season
Yes,
by
yes.
far. I actually think it's not even close.
Agreed.
Because I enjoyed the first two episodes, but I really thought this episode like elevated it entirely. I thought the writing was on point. There were like so many good scenes with between Oz and Sophia, and Oz and Victor, who I really wasn't a huge fan of in the first two episodes, but I actually like them now. I think they added a lot of layers to them. I'm excited to see where it goes. I thought this was a great episode.
Sure. Matt, your initial reaction?
I mean, I couldn't agree more with RJ. I mean, this is the shit that people want to see. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The
Yep.
first two episodes, they were fine. It was okay.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But no, I mean, this was fucking awesome. Like literally, the entire I was watching it saying, all right, this is the shit like I was expecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's obviously different from the Batman. Like we said that. But like I'm loving what's going on. Every scene, I don't think there was a bad scene. The entire episode I was locked in. Like you said, I think it really elevated Vic's character. Man, they really make you feel bad for that kid. But no, I like him a lot better. I mean, we'll get into everything. But just like initial thoughts, I thought it was a banger episode. By far the best of the series.
Yeah, I gotta say, honestly, like I've liked every episode. I think that it's getting better and better. I love that we're getting these character backstories. It's really nice. I watched it last night when it premiered. It's Monday when we're filming this. This drops on Friday, but watched it last night when it premiered. We watched it again today before we filmed the
Oh, wow.
episode. I like to watch with the
You
guys.
double tip.
Just
You
so
hit it
everybody's
twi-
on the same. Yeah.
You hit it twice.
What
I
were you
do.
wearing?
Yeah, that's what
What-
I want to know.
What was I wearing when?
After.
Right.
Right.
Went back and hit it twice.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
it's great. I think it's really interesting. Sometimes when they do these character backstory things, it can get like I don't like when it's the whole episode. I actually really this again goes back to what I said last week about things being surface level, and just kind of surface level makes it sound like they're not detailed, and I don't want to make it sound that way. I just feel like they're very good at hitting the points that matter and leaving out the shit that doesn't matter. So like the first 10 15 minutes of this episode were Victor's backstory. We've seen
Yeah.
other episodes of other shows in general, not of this show, but other shows in general, where they'll do, episode 3 or episode 4 will be like this random backstory of a character that shows up, and then it'll be the entire episode. And quite honestly, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I will say that in this show, to have it like we don't need much. We don't need
Yeah.
much. Something catastrophic happened. Kid lost his family, and then that's how he ended up where he is. That's all I needed to know. I don't need to know
Mhm.
anything else. We got
Yeah.
the father, right?
Mhm.
Who's the cook, but he's not a cook. He's a mechanic or something. But he likes to
Yeah.
cook. He wishes he was a cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting the fact that the father says that he doesn't really, they don't need more than what they currently have,
Yeah.
which may or may not be true. But Vic obviously wants more.
Yeah.
There's something there that he wants that's more than what he currently has.
Yeah.
And he doesn't admire his father's lack of ambition, I would say.
No, it literally reminded me, and this is why I love the episode so much, exactly like that situation, like Bronx Tale.
Mm.
Because it's literally like, the son, whatever his name is, like
Colosio.
yeah, Cristin, yeah, he would know
See.
that. Great, my personal favorite mob movie ever.
Same.
But like you have De Niro, like hard class, honest man, high morals. He's an honest, hardworking man,
Tax-paying citizen.
right? And he works his that grinds. His son sees his dad, but like, and they're just scraping by, like this episode, or you kind of that yearning for more. You know what I mean? And you're gonna make so much more. You're gonna kind of become the shit, but you kind of gotta lower your moral. You know what I mean? You gotta do some shit that you may not feel so great about. You know, and it's kind of like these two different ways.
That's a great comparison.
Thank you, and and also like I feel like the Penguin Oz is exactly like Sonny in a Bronx because he's not like a bad guy, but
he's doing what he has
but
to
he
do.
does bad things.
Right. I think that RJ has something to say. Let's go to RJ in Gotham. To
No,
see
I was pointing at Matt. I was just pointing at Matt. I thought that's a great take.
Thank you. I know. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's actually an excellent comparison.
I was pretty proud of myself when I thought.
Yeah, it's not bad, and I don't think that I think it's really cool for Vic to have that conflict. I thought it was interesting that he. Can we talk about the kiss really quick? I know it's like kind of midway through the episode. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know what her name is. The chick that he's in love with.
I think Gabriella.
Graciela.
Graciela. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So she goes to visit him when he's at the Penguin's place, right?
That was nice. A crash in there.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna get a little more, and then she had to leave because the Penguin was on the way home.
Yeah.
Oz was on the way back.
Yep.
But I found it very interesting that. Like immediately, like this is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. When he said, "Take this money and buy me a ticket," and then he kissed her the way that he kissed her, that was a goodbye kiss. That was a kiss of death to me. Like that was a Michael Corleone kissing Fredo after he says, "You betrayed me." Not that Graciela betrayed him in any way, but that was like, I'm probably not going to get to kiss you again. Like that's what the vibe that I got from that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I felt like I knew that he wasn't going to go through with it. And then even Oz says, "Listen, if you don't like it here, there's no bars in the windows." That's what they used to say to us in the car business. No, you're not a hostage. There's no bars in the window. You don't want to work here? Fuck out, And I thought it was great that he went all the way there. I knew he wasn't going to get on the bus, which sets us up for the end scene. But there's so much stuff to talk about in the middle. RJ, do you want to break down some stuff? Do you want to get into it?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say to hop on Matt's point, the Bronx Tale comparison. I also got a little Spider-Verse, Miles Morales.
All right, let's not go crazy here.
With the parents. What? No,
I'm just joking. I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, it's a good point.
I think he's half Mexican, half black. I think Miles Morales is Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. But it's kind of the same dynamic.
That's actually a good point.
You got this kid living in like New York City. The dad's kind of a normal guy and stuff. So I like that. I thought that was a nice connection.
Yeah, it's always I always like that when like the parents are like real high character to raise the kid, but the kid kind of like yearns for more. You know what I mean? And it's kind of that conflict. Like, I don't know, do I go for it? I might have to do some like bad things. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I kind of like that like struggle.
No,
and I think too, Matt, because you had mentioned it last episode about not feeling as much like the Batman.
Yeah.
I think it was so great to see the flood and stuff because it really it kind of like reiterates that this is all connected to that same thing. I thought that was good.
No, it made me think about like the Riddler and shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it made me think about like the Bat. So no, I thought it did a very good job of that too. I agree.
Yeah, I also like that they're able to make callbacks from the movie in this, and like everybody just kind of gets it. You know what I mean? Like it's totally from a totally different area of the city, totally different perspective. And if you've seen the Batman, like you just instantly know what's going on when stuff starts popping off, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this makes sense just from a different perspective." RJ, go ahead.
But also, I think it works if you hadn't seen the Batman either.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're not relying on that, but when you hear it, it makes sense. But all you need to know if you just watch this show randomly is that there was a flood. There was some kind of terrorist act, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I think the primary storyline in this episode is Sophia and Oz working together, right, for the first time.
They were awesome together.
And
every scene.
Yeah, she introduces Oz to this new drug that's called Bliss, which is the name of the episode.
See, this hold on, because he makes that up on the spot, and I thought that this was shot so well. This scene was shot so well. Go. Edited well,
yeah, I was just going to say that she introduces him to this new drug, which is kind of derived from mushrooms, whatever, and it's revealed that it was what they gave the patients at Arkham to subdue them. So then, like you were saying, Nick, we get this great sequence where Oz and Sophia go to the head of the Chinese mob. I think they're called the Triads, and they try to, negotiate a deal to distribute this. We got a great club scene, Matt, huh?
Dude,
how about the iceberg, huh? Or no, the Triad Club, whatever.
No,
it was.
when they cut to the club, I'm like, fucking fine. Listen, if you want to win me over, give me a good club. John Wick. Okay, Mission Impossible. Give me a good club scene. Everyone because shit's happened. It's dark. You know, the lights are going. Everyone's doing you know, it's fucking, it's always a good scene. You know, club scene, always a good idea. So no, I was very excited.
Yeah, I will say that you know, it's based on the time of year. I've been looking at costumes. I've been invited to a
Oh,
couple of Halloween parties
that's
or
nice.
whatever. That outfit, the all white giant suit,
Oh,
like
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
that-
yeah.
what an awesome outfit with
it's a
the
good,
red shirt
it's a
You're
good
gonna have to
underneath.
fit.
shave though, Nick.
It's not happening. So yeah, I'm not going as the penguin. I'm just saying I might buy that outfit
It's
to
either
have,
that or
RJ.
JD Vance. You
Yeah.
got two choices.
Yeah, yeah.
JD.
Well, there we go. There it is. Okay, so trying to stay away from that kind of stuff.
I'm just saying, you look like the guy.
Yeah, well, he's a handsome guy. Very articulate too. I don't know if you noticed that. Or
Nice at debates.
not. Yeah, he's not bad at debates, but we're not going to get into how we feel about his policies. You know, should I do the JD? Should I?
Fourth
Just
wall
fucking-
break.
yeah, right there into the camera. That's good stuff. No, I loved that outfit. I loved the. I like the fact that Oz is a master manipulator. Master manipulator.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, and I wonder. It almost makes you wonder, like, why he waited so long to make these moves. But I guess you know, everything's just kind of lining up
Yeah.
the right way for him. The Falcone, you know, the head of the mafia passed away. Whatever, you know, all these things are happening that are just kind of the stars are aligning in the right way. But like with Oz crying at the end of this episode with
Yeah, that's good.
with Sophia. Like, I don't buy any of that shit. Now, she might have been sold on it in the moment, but Oz will absolutely say anything it takes to make sure that he is still ahead in the long run. Do you disagree, Matt?
No, I agree 100%.
Well, he leaves her like 30 seconds later.
Well,
too.
that's the thing. He goes,
Yeah, he's like, fucking leave her. Like,
Which
when-
she's like, how can I know that I can trust you? He goes, well, why don't you let me keep showing you? And then literally 30 seconds later, fuck it, leave her. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
No,
Get
that-
out of here.
that-
quick.
that was
I
awesome.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was wonderful because it makes him true to his character, which I think is extremely important for the consistency of a show. You can see that shift in Vic. He's not happy that he's staying around, but he is staying around because he is good at it. How do we feel about Vic with the cop? How do we like that scene? The cop, where the cop.
It pissed me off. You know,
In what way?
like
Go.
that. You know, because I'm like, Vic's working hard for this money out here. You know what I mean?
Interesting
Yeah.
take.
I don't
Well,
know.
like-
I kind of wanted Vic to be like, yo, like, what's up? Like, let me have my money. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I just, you know.
Okay, RJ, go, because I have an opinion too. RJ, go.
Corrupt cops.
I thought it was two things. I thought it was a good representation, like reiterating how corrupt Gotham cops are, because that's just like a theme in
That is true.
Gotham, right?
Okay, so this
But
isn't.
I
We're
think-
answering the wrong question
is
here.
true.
The question is
No.
more about how we felt about Vic being that wanting to be the stand-up good guy that his father would be ashamed of based on the stuff that he's done, but then in that moment, kind of figuring out through critical thinking or whatever you want to call it, like you know, logically speaking, what do you do? How am I going to get out of this situation? Because he's being either racially profiled or whatever it is. How do we feel about him offering the money?
Yeah,
to the guy?
I thought it was a good lesson, a good like light bulb moment for him. It shows that he has the potential,
in a
right?
in a corrupt kind of way, though. You know what I mean? He has the potential to be a great crime lord or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like he's
Like
learning.
you can tell he's been watching the Penguin.
Right. And he's
Yeah.
learning and he's trying to make things happen on his own side. I thought it was very interesting in that scene where Vic is trying, I guess, to quit and leave or whatever when Oz is kind of flipping out at him about leaving. I thought it was very interesting that Oz was saying, like, do you not get it yet? Like, there are no good guys and bad guys. There's just it is what it is. And these people, the quote unquote good guys, the cops, the government, whatever you want to call them, they're just bigger and badder than we are right now. Like, that's kind of his mentality, you know? And so
That entire exchange, I think, was probably the best scene in the show
Yeah.
yet.
I thought it
in
was
the
fucking
bathroom.
phenomenal,
that was a
dude.
great
It
one.
was so good. I really,
Yeah.
let's get back to Sophia though for a second here, because we also got to talk Johnny Vitti. We got
yeah.
many things to talk about in this episode.
Dude, when he
Like,
walked in that fucking
I hate
tan
John.
suit,
Yeah, that guy is.
looks like an idiot.
No,
Fuck him.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna get popped.
so I don't know if
That
he's gonna
guy
get popped or if
sucks.
he's gonna get set up and
They-
like sent to Arkham.
They make
or
him like
something.
such like a hateable character.
He's very good at playing
I was-
hateable characters.
I really thought like Oz was gonna like kill him when he was in bed. I was
Yeah.
hoping. I was like, just that knife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say across the board here with every single person who's acting in this, the acting is like
Yeah, very good.
top notch to me.
Especially what's his name? Colin Farrell and the woman's name who plays Sophia.
She's so
She's
dude.
amazing. Amazing.
She's like actually
Cristin
so
Milioti.
good.
What she does, I think, better than anyone else is acting without saying anything. Her face
Yeah, with her eyes.
is like for her character is amazing.
When Johnny Vitti says to Sophia Falcone, "Look, I know you're not. I know you're all fucked up in the head or whatever. I know you're
Yeah.
not."
Oh, that pissed me off.
But her reaction to that,
Yeah.
like that moment she takes to like kind of breathe it in, relax it down, and be
contained,
like,
yeah.
"Thank you for letting me know how you feel about me." Or what? I mean, it was just unbelievably good. Like she is so perfect for this
Yeah.
role.
She's also pretty hot. Like every time
But that's part of it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's honestly, I'm not
No, it
kidding because
is.
I feel the same way. She has big, beautiful eyes.
beautiful.
She's
Italian.
gorgeous. She's Italian, obviously.
Yeah,
Whatever,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But at the same time, like you need
She could-
acting chops. Like
Yeah.
you can't, you know what I mean? Like Johnny Vitti's mistress, that's Falcone's wife. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? She's fine for her role. She doesn't have any like moments
Yeah,
of like
it's
needing
whatever.
to.
We need a broad, you know.
Right, but like, dude, Sophia's
Oh.
really she's becoming like my favorite character, even though Oz is my you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
no, I agree 100%. You know what she does that Tommy Shelby, just the way they smoke a cigarette is just fucking cool.
mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, I love how they're ripping.
Oh,
cigs
every
so
time
much.
she rips a cig, I go, fuck yeah. Like it's just, you know what it is? It's just fucking cool. They're
Mhm.
bad for you, but
I think
man,
there were.
it looks cool when you do it. Like a cool character like her or Tommy Shelby, they're just ripping a cig, contemplating everything. I'm just like, yeah, like that's awesome.
There were like I feel like there were like 3 or 4 moments where there was just like a little moment of like someone needed their cigarette lit
Yeah.
in this episode.
No, it's
so
awesome, dude.
someone else did it. It was just it was
It's
funny.
like peaky. It's great.
What was that? I was gonna say to that point. I it's also interesting because I feel like she's the only actress that's actually Italian
Yeah.
that they casted in this show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
Like
true.
I feel like everyone else. I mean, Colin Farrell's obviously Irish and stuff, but I think that helps too. She has the look. You
Well,
know.
I think they were like, all right, we have to get the two mains like perfect, like Colin Farrell and her. And then everyone else, you know, minor roles just kind of what like it's her, Colin Farrell, and Vic. Those are the big three.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is
This
like
is funny.
fine.
I was just looking at her Wikipedia, and she was born in New Jersey, and she says she's of Italian descent and calls her family Olive Garden Italian. I
Oh,
like
okay.
that phrase. That's funny.
That is
Yeah.
funny. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
She's great.
That's very funny actually.
No, but yeah, she's phenomenal. And I noticed too, if when you hop on HBO Max, the poster now is the two of them.
Oh, that's
It's
nice.
not just Oz. And I think they definitely are realizing that everyone's really a big fan of her, and it's really kind of a dual show,
The Hangman.
which is cool.
You know?
Oh, this is another thing. So she
Yeah,
says,
let's unpack that.
So at one point she says directly, like word for word, "I'm not the Hangman," and
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
I don't know if she was calling Oz out for saying, "I'm not a rat," and she says, "Yeah, and I'm not the Hangman," as if to say, like, we all know what you are.
Oh.
We know what I am. It is what it is. You're out here for yourself, just like all of us. I didn't know if it was that, or if
I didn't
she
take it
was,
like that.
or if it was like an Arkham EST treatment that went, you know, that she like doesn't remember that she's the Hangman. So maybe it's like a split personality type deal. I didn't know exactly what that was. Either
Well,
way,
I
I'm
had
on fucking board. By the way, I think it's great.
Oh, it is great. I think
We keep.
yeah, no, go ahead.
No, go.
Well, I think it's I don't think it's that like I think it's exact the second thing you said is that she is the Hangman, but like she's like everyone like talks down to her because like they think she's this like psychopath, which she like definitely is.
Mm.
So she, you know, I think it could be too like maybe this drug or like whatever. Maybe you're right, like she doesn't remember it. You know what I mean? But I feel like she's like the Hangman. I feel like we're gonna start seeing it too. I feel like people are gonna start, you know, getting what's what, you know.
Well,
Right.
I
ahead,
had brought up in last episode because there was that one little scene where she kind of implies that Oz screwed her over at some point, and then they don't reveal what happened exactly, but they definitely confirm that something happened. He was her driver, and he did something that got her placed in Arkham, and he even says that Carmine had a role in putting her there. So I'm really interested to see like I wonder if he was her driver. I'm just throwing this out there. What if she was like having him drive her to the places where she was murdering people and he knew and he told Carmine? I think that would be interesting.
I think we're gonna get a flashback scene.
Flashback. I
Yeah.
feel like
Well, them
so I think that
Young Oz.
there's a lot of foreshadowing stuff that happens in the show. I think that the backstory of Vic was very simplistic. It was very like
It's heartfelt.
quick. No, but it's quick.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and I think that throughout this series, we're gonna end up seeing more of those little 10-minute backstories of people, which I think is great. I don't have any issue with that at all.
Fine.
And I would love to see, but I think with Sophia specifically, we're gonna see a lot more in-depth stuff. And I think, not to burst bubbles here, but I think it's actually not going to have as big of a payoff at the end of the series as we were kind of thinking with regard to Sophia. I think that something's going to happen in the second movie with Sophia. They're kind of setting it up. She's a very main.
Do you think she's going to make it out of the show?
I think she'll make it out of the show. I think it could be a toss-up between hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Slow down, everybody. Hold on. I think we're going to have either a Hangman movie, okay? Either that, because now listen, we're in episode 3. We're going to be 50% away through the series next week, at the end of next week. And we still don't have her backstory yet, which they keep showing through previews and everything else, that we're going to see Sophia Falcone at Arkham Asylum. So something has to happen there. So part of the episode next week has to be a backstory of some sort, or that has to come up sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense. But we're starting to get toward the end of the series. And unless they like...
We're only halfway through. We're not even halfway through.
I understand. At the end of next week, we're going to be halfway through, though, and nothing really has happened yet. It's episode 3, and we just introduced this Bliss drug. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like they could be setting it up for, like, Batman 2 to have Sophia Falcone as one of the key players in at least, I would say, the first act of the second movie. I could be totally wrong. She could totally die. But I just don't see any foreshadowing of like a Harvey Dent type deal or anything yet. So I don't know. But go ahead, Matt.
I think like I personally I don't think she's gonna make it out. But to your point, what I think they could do, because like she's obviously like amazing, they could like put her back in Arkham. You know, whatever happens at the end of the show, she ends up back. And then it's like if we want her for like another project or whatever, it's a very easy. Oh, she's in Arkham, you know, and she gets out, whatever. Or if it's like, oh, we're good, and then they just leave her in Arkham, you know.
Matt Reeves has also been trying to develop an Arkham Asylum show too for HBO.
So maybe she's like the lead.
I definitely see that.
Maybe she's like the lead. I think it's a very strong chance like she ends up back in Arkham.
As opposed, and all I'm saying is as opposed to her dying, the character dying, I think Arkham is an easier, safer bet to say that she'll be there. Go ahead, RJ.
I say either you kill her or you put her in Arkham again, or I would like to see her in the Batman 2, but again, it's kind of like what we talked about last episode is I don't want you to have to have watched this series to understand the next movie. So if she's like a big role, even a minor role, like people need to know who she is. So if you're going to put her in there, you're going to have to give some kind of exposition as if we've never seen the show before and why she's involved in it, you know, which I think they could do.
I was going to say, I just based on the way that they're doing the show and the way that the Batman was the first movie, I don't think it would be. I mean, I don't know exactly how they would go about doing it, but I don't necessarily see that being a difficult thing for them to do. They've done everything else pretty good so far. You know, I don't know.
I just think that the point of this show is by the end of it, Oz is going to be running or be a huge player in the crime world in Gotham. Well, that's not controlling it.
At the end of this episode, that almost was over. Obviously, we know Oz isn't going to die in episode 3, but like, you know what I mean? Go ahead, go.
But she can't be involved if he's the guy. And we saw that, you know, how kind of jealous she gets when he kind of takes the reins. So I'm with you, Matt. I think either she's dead or she's in Arkham by the end of this season.
I think it's going to come full circle because it seems like, right, so at the beginning, like we've been getting more into both their backgrounds, but they were like buddy, right? He was her driver. It seems like something happened. He probably saved his own ass. He screwed her. You know, she ended up in Arkham, and I feel like that's gonna happen again. There's gonna be some other shit. Something else is gonna come up, and then she'll end up back in Arkham or dead, and then Oz like is gonna take the throne. Like I feel like that would be my prediction, and Vic may or may not. You know what I would like for Vic actually? I take back what I said episode 1 where I wanted Oz to get him. I would like Vic to end up at the very like end of the show, like go with it, like a Good Will Hunting. You know, when they go see about a girl. You know, I think that would be nice for Vic.
Nah, fuck that. I want him dead. No,
I either want him as Oz's right-hand man or he's got to go.
Yeah.
Really, I think it'd be nice. I'm not gonna. I think that's my prediction. I think he's gonna.
I think it would be good if we had, honestly, at some point, it'd be very interesting if, and I'm getting way ahead here, but if there was like another Vic, if
No.
Vic
Oh, come
had
on.
a Vic Jr. Hold on,
I don't like that.
somebody who's
Clone Wars.
no, somebody who's like stranded, who doesn't know what's going on, and that would be a great arc for Vic to then become the Oz. Does that make sense?
What about Oz though?
No, Oz the
Sure.
King. Then he would be the Falcone, and he'd be the top of the.
All right, so Oz
chain.
is the 1, Vic is the 2, and then some other kid's the 3.
Well, that's what. But that would be just a good arc for
Okay.
Vic's character. I'm saying, like, to have somebody else be like, I don't know if I should be doing this. And Vic's like, yeah, none of us do, kid. Like that kind of.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's just this is what we do now. That kind of deal.
See, I could see Oz like making a decision that makes him like the kingpin, makes him the top dog, but he kind of it fucks Vic, and he's like he's at the top. He finally got everything he ever wanted. But he's like, he doesn't feel good about it. You know, he's lonely. He's up there. He has all this. But now the one guy who like actually cared for him and like he kind of shoved to the curb. I could see that. And he's just sitting there like atop of the throne having his drink, just like feeling lonely. He has it, but like it's not, you know.
Right, right. I think it's an interesting dynamic too between Vic and Oz, and we finally get to hear like what Vic is actually thinking when he talks to Graciela about the about like
Yeah, that was
why
cool.
he's sticking around
agree
and
with
like
that.
not leaving. He thinks that Oz is lonely and whatever. And I think that Oz's blow up reaction really kind of like sells that. He says like after everything I've done for you, blah blah blah,
It
all
shows
this
how
stuff.
much
Like
he cares.
he
Yeah.
does care, and I think Vic cares too. But I think Vic's also very scared, like
Yeah,
extremely
exactly.
scared, and doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
It's like, yeah, we said earlier, he knows it's wrong. He's scared, but like at the same time, like he cares.
Guys, can I take a really quick second here to just say, like, I love this show that we do, and I love that the show is good, but I almost hate that the show is good because we're so like, eh. Like when something's shitty,
Yeah,
I'm
it's Game
so
of- yeah.
excited to come in here and just bitch about
House of the
something being
Dragon.
horrible. You know?
No, but I think we're having a good conversation.
No, the conversation's fantastic. I just I feel like
House of the
I
Dragon.
feel like I'm not like, RJ, say something, that like it sets me off or whatever. Like get me going.
No, like,
You know what I
listen,
mean?
if
Like-
we
I
ever
think
want
it's
to,
good that we're not screaming.
Yeah. No, well, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It's more fun, though.
Speaking of screaming, though, because we can get a little heated about this. Let's talk about Johnny Vitti here.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about Johnny Vitti for a second. Where is this character going, and when is he just gonna fucking get popped?
This guy's
and
a
be
cuck.
gone?
I
hate him, dude.
I hate how he talks to Sophia. I hate how he talks to Oz. He's walking around like he's big dick. Meanwhile, he's
well, I mean, he fucks the boss's wife.
yeah, but not for long. I don't think anymore. You know what I mean? Oz sticks a knife in his. I love that.
It wasn't
scene.
a knife. There's a
It's what I think
phone.
it-
Oh, it was a
It's an
phone.
iPhone. He stuck in his mouth so
Oh,
hard
shit.
it cracked the screen of the iPhone. I
Oh,
thought
I
it was
must have
beautiful.
missed that. I thought it was a knife. Like
Oh,
a
I
little
thought it
Joker
was a
situation.
beautiful moment because Vitti looks like such a bitch.
No,
doesn't
that's
he?
why. Yeah, he
He's
looks like a cuck.
and
know
it's
what I
like,
mean?
oh my god.
Yeah, no, I hate him. I think he's gonna get popped, and I'll be thrilled when he does.
Go ahead, RJ.
Fuck
What do you
him.
think?
I was just gonna say, I think if he had 1 ounce of Italian in him, that we'd actually maybe not hate him as much. But I think that contributes a lot.
Maybe I don't have so
he
much
just
of an
comes
issue.
on screen, and I just don't buy him.
You're right, and he looks
You
a
know?
little bit too like he should be wearing like it. To me, it's just
He
too
should be
much.
working at a bank.
Well, it's too much House of Cards. That's what I was gonna say. He looks like too
Yeah.
like
Politician.
Washington D.C. to me, like
Yes.
Fortune
yes.
500 kind of guy. There's nothing about him that
Yeah,
looks
he's
like
not rough around the edges. you
right.
know?
But then you look at Oz, and you're like, okay, this is what these people look like. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this is what real like crime people that
That's
live.
why I'm
this
saying
life
I
look
wish
like.
he was like their lawyer or something,
Mm,
not the underboss.
right, like a Tom
he doesn't
Hagen.
give me
is what you're saying.
underboss
So,
vibes.
RJ says bad casting. Is that what I'm hearing?
I do say bad cast.
Okay.
Interesting.
is. Put it there.
Interesting point.
RJ
So
hates-
here's the other thing too, though, about the VD thing. You got to be able to hate the character. So like Oz is a horrible human being as the character. He's not a good person. I would not want to be friends with this guy in real
But we
life.
love him.
Right? But the character and the acting and everything is so good that you're like, oh my god, this is like something worth watching, and you're kind of rooting for him.
Walter White.
And it's okay. I would say like we don't like the other guy too, that Carmine's brother that took over, Luca.
Oh, he's yeah.
He's like, and the acting is a little overdone. But notice how he's not around right now.
yeah, exactly.
You
it's
know, Vitti we're supposed to hate because we're supposed to hate him. But I just feel like I feel like it's just something. I don't know. I don't like him at all. I want him to go.
fine. Yeah,
He's
me too.
got to go. How crazy is
He
it
will
that
go.
Oz has everybody in the palm of his hand? It doesn't matter who it is.
Playing chess.
Imagine
Not at the end of the episode though.
imagine trying to we're getting there. Imagine trying to maintain whatever bullshit and lies and everything you got to cover up between the Maronis, the Falcones, the Triad, all of these people he probably owes money to.
I love it.
Vic, he's got to keep all these plates on the things in the air
I
spinning.
love it.
I think it's fantastic.
I love it.
And the thing that I love about it so much is how well the show is written because it's so basic that the layers don't get in the way of each other. Like I don't feel confused. Like House of the Dragon season 2, I'm like, what are we doing? There's too much going on.
What you just said about like Oz wheeling and dealing, it reminds me a little bit of Butcher from The Boys.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
and everyone knows he's trouble. Because he needs something from you. He has some scheme or some plan, and everyone knows they shouldn't. Everyone knows he's trouble, but like he just has a way of just getting him in the palm of his hand, like you said. And he's always 2 steps ahead, and he's playing everyone at the same time.
Well, so
and
I
it's just
think
fucking cool, man.
And I think it's very. I totally agree with you. And RJ, I want to hear your opinion on this too. But I think that it really is it's a testament to kind of show how characters can have the same pathway to their goal, but it's like using their powers for good versus evil. Like what's his name? The Butcher from Butcher from The Boys.
Best character in my opinion.
Right? He's a great
Him and
character.
Homelander.
But he's wheeling and dealing and everybody owes him a favor and all this other shit, right? But he's using his powers for good as opposed to evil.
He does bad things, but you're right. He's doing bad things for the greater good.
Right. Oz is doing things
Yeah, they
for
all have the
Oz's
same
greater
goal.
good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, Oz is trying to make himself.
Yeah.
Everything has to do with Oz's bottom line.
Yeah, making
You
it up
know?
the ladder. you know?
Right. And so I just find it extremely interesting because you're right. It's a great comparison, but they're.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But they, but they use their powers for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought it was great. RJ, what do you think?
Well, I was gonna say on that note, we could probably talk about what happens at the end, right?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay,
Bring it.
I
Yeah.
I love the ending.
Yeah. So Sophia and Oz, they get out. They're kind of having a smoke. They have that exchange outside the club,
Nice smoke at the club.
where they kind of just let it out,
That's
both
nice.
of their sides, and they kind of come to it was like a nice moment for them to get everything off their chest, and then all of a sudden SUV pulls up, and what's her name? I don't know her
Maroney.
name. Yeah, the Persian mob woman. She comes out. They pull the guns on him, and she clearly has found out that Oz has been playing the Maronis. We don't know why. We don't know how she found that out. He did have a phone call with Sal, right in the apartment when Sophia showed up.
Mhm.
I don't know if something happened there, if they were listening in on the call, maybe. But yeah. So then he drives off. Vic, like you said, Nick, when he comes back from the bus station, sees it, hits the guy. Him and Oz go off. They leave Sophia. Great ending, like you said, Matt, with the music, him in the car just speeding off.
Dude.
But I think this is big now because now suddenly, like you said, Nick, he had everyone in his pocket, and now the Maronis know what he's up to, and Sophia's definitely not going to be happy that he just left her there too.
So okay, so I have multiple things here, and this is the one issue I have with this
Oh
episode.
no, what's going on here?
Hear me out.
Okay,
All right.
I don't like
That's
where
it,
this
I'm
is
out.
going.
Hey, hold on. All right. So this is my issue with this episode. What would you say? Would you agree that the Maronis are either the second biggest crime syndicate in Gotham currently
Number 2. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
after the Falcons? RJ, yes or no?
No, it seems like it's the Asian mob, the Chinese mob.
Okay, we
Because
call
I
it- we
think
call
what
them the
Carmine
Triad.
did.
It's the big 3.
Yeah, I think what Carmine did, which they kind of established in the Batman, was he really screwed Maroni over, and I think he made him like almost irrelevant because now Maroni's in jail. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
Maroni's in
but
jail, but like, okay, so here's my
has
question. Here's the
influence,
point.
but I
Still a
don't
big
know.
name.
Hold
The
on, hold
Maroni's
on.
still a
Here's
big name.
here's
Yeah.
my frustration though. My frustration comes from how do you have the wife of the boss of I would say, pretty large crime syndicate,
Yeah.
whether they're screwed over or not, whatever, there are still people that work for the Maronis, okay?
Yeah.
So why is it that the boss's wife and one guard drive up to Oz on Triad turf, like with Sophia Falcone, the hangman, standing right there? How is that gonna actually happen? Why wouldn't it be like a
Are you
crazy
sure there were
drive-by?
only one?
Yes, there was
'Cause
only
when
one
the car-
because no, there was
when the-
only one because Vic hits the one guy, and that's it.
Oh, I think.
There's nobody
No,
else. There's not
I
like
know,
a
but I
hail
wonder
of
if the other
gunfire.
gu- I wonder if the other guy. No, yeah, but as they're speeding away, there's shots.
Maybe it was a driver. Maybe there was a third. I don't know. I honestly forget. You might be
I
right.
I
Maybe they
think
were
there
just
was more
driving by
than
and they
one
saw him.
because you had the driver, you had that guy came out of the front seat, and I think there was someone else with her in the back. Because when Vic and him are driving away, I definitely heard gunshots.
Mm.
You're right though. I think they probably just had to like put a recognizable face because the other guy's in jail.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
And
the only reason.
that's annoying.
That was the
because
only
it's-
reason. There's like, oh, literally the one guy everyone knows is in jail, so we can't use him. So
we got to use the wife.
we got to use the wife because like other than that, like it's just a bunch of randons. You know.
So
what I
then
mean?
that makes me ask, like, why did it have to happen that way? Why couldn't we have something happen where Sophia finds out in the background or whatever, right? Because I don't think necessarily, like, we didn't see what happened with Sophia. She could have run off
I like
after
that.
the crash happened. I agree, because it's like, where the fuck do we go from
It's
here?
a great ending.
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
It's oh. I feel like okay. You hated it, huh?
I didn't like that the wife of Maroney showed
So
up.
that
I just
really-
I felt like she's too high tier for
Okay.
that group to be like out and about with a single bodyguard that's gonna get hit. Like, what happens next? Does she get shot? You know what I mean? Like, does Oz and Sophia, did they get their guns back before they left the Triad place? You know what I mean? Because they went in there and they got strapped or whatever, patted down.
No, it actually makes it. No, I honestly I agree with you. I just think I was so into the episode and I just like it was fucking.
I was too. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, and it was just so I mean, RJ, like I know you're not a big Breaking Bad guy,
I'm not at all.
but I was like when Vic was driving that car, I'm like, this is literally Breaking Bad. When fucking
Oh, Jesse.
when Jesse runs over the guys. And Walt's like,
Oh, yes,
Walt's like,
yeah,
run.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's one of my favorite scenes in Break. It was like an oh shit moment. And at that moment, it's even
Yeah.
because, like, at that point in the show, Walt and Jesse had been fighting. But it's like, you run those dudes over. It's like, all right, fuck, we're in this together now. I mean, I just killed 2 dudes for you. I just ran them over. And Vic, like, that guy's probably dead. Vic, probably first guy he's ever killed. Oz is like, you're my boy now. They're driving away. Reminded me a little bit of Drive, a little bit of Blade Runner, just, them driving the vibes in the city, and I'm just like, this is fucking awesome. Now Sophie and Vic and Oz are going to be mad at each other. Like, it was the first ending where I'm like, I wish I could press bang episode 4 right now.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna
For
be
me.
it's gonna be a great episode. I'm very excited to watch that. I have a question.
Binge that shit.
And RJ, I want to hear what you have to say, but at the end of what you have to say, I want you to answer this question, both of you, and Max too, and Josh if you guys want to. But it just feels like every time Oz gets it's like one step forward, 3.5 steps back.
Yeah.
How are you gonna finally convince this psychotic woman that you're on her side? And you get screwed. And instead of like pulling your gun out and shooting the bodyguard and shooting the lady from the Maroney crime family and just like, whatever, which you can't do because you are playing the Maroneys as well, right?
Yeah.
But what happens from here? How is Sophia going to react to the fact that this just pulled up and she gets out of the car and goes, you think you can play us against the fucking Falcons or whatever, and blah, 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 and like totally screwed him.
Well, no,
And then he goes, leave Sophia there. Like, what is going on?
No, but that's what I love. Like, it's going to be mayhem after.
I love it too, but I have questions.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I feel like if
What do you feel like, Max, with your no light on? How about that? We turn a light on there, maybe, so people can see
No,
your
I like it. It's
pretty
in the-
beautiful face.
He's in the shadows.
That's nice. Go ahead.
Vengeance.
I feel like if
fucking vengeance over here.
if he told her that like he was partially the reason why that she went to Arkham, then that's way worse than him just leaving her.
But he does apologize for that.
But is he being facetious with that, or is he being serious?
You know, try that
It's a
again.
big word.
Facetious.
There it is.
Because I think with Vic, he was being
that's a good
genuinely
point.
serious
Yeah.
when he was explaining to him like he does care about him. But I don't know if
I don't think he does.
I think he cares more about Vic than he does Sophia.
I think you're.
You don't think he cares about Vic?
I don't think he gives a flying fuck about Vic. I feel like
Dude,
he.
there was that
s-
entire scene
hold
where he was sitting
on.
at the bar like depressed.
Hold on.
He
Yeah,
was
they did-
drinking.
they did it
He
late on
lost his
thick.
boy.
They did late
Hold
on. thick.
on. Hold on. Did he lose his boy? The same as
Boy.
like if you decided to not be friends with RJ?
No,
I don't think it's that. He
it's like-
lost his driver. He's a big, fat, sweaty, lazy fuck
Oh,
who runs around committing crimes.
on.
And he has a guy. Listen to me. The guy's a master fucking manipulator. Every single
but
person he
he's
comes in
he's got a
contact
heart.
with, he doesn't have a heart. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know.
He's-
man.
Him and
No,
Vic are
I
both
disagree.
disabled.
Bro, shut the fuck up for 1 second. Let me just make the fucking point. The guy is not, he doesn't care about anybody but himself, which is why he leaves Sophia after he just tried to convince Sophia that she should be involved with him. Vic, Yes, I'm sure he feels bad that he lost his driver and lost his gopher and lost the person who's going to be there at every step of the way. I think he enjoys the dynamic, but we've seen this guy who was trying to save that guy that got shot, that they brought in for questioning. All he had to say was Johnny Vitti, and then he couldn't get the jewels in the thing. That guy, I don't know his name, but the capo from the Maronis, okay? Oz has zero issue turning around and going, sorry, circumstances change, and stabbing the guy in the gut, okay? Zero issue whatsoever. If things weren't going exactly to plan with Sophia, he would take Johnny Vitti's side all day long. I don't think he wouldn't. If Johnny Vitti was like more favorable toward Oz than Sophia was, if he thought he could manipulate Johnny Vitti more than Sophia, Sophia would be gone. He'd do everything he can to get her back into Arkham or to kill her himself. He walks into the triad thing. He owes them a ton of money. He brings them booze,
I love that.
and he starts wheeling and dealing immediately. I don't believe for a second that he actually cares about Vic. I think he cares about the fact that Vic is easily manipulated and will do whatever Oz says. And when he loses that, he's like, fuck me, now I got to do everything else on my own. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, by the way, because I think it makes for a great character. I think it makes it very consistent. For him to have a heart and actually care about Vic, I think is complete fucking bullshit. That's just my take. Please continue.
But I think the entire show has disproved that.
How so?
Because like even in this episode, you have that great scene where they're sitting down having lunch, and he like defends Vic when he's stuttering.
Oh,
and he
that
like
was a
says like, "No,
heartwarming
you
scene.
shouldn't take that." Like I thought
I
that
love
was
that.
like a great little moment there. I
Well,
think
RJ, he
cares about
can't
him. I
have
really
somebody
do.
working that
great
close to him that's weak.
I feel like he connects with Vic on the
that's the wrong
disability
take.
thing, though.
I don't think that's what he's thinking.
I
agree with you. We talked about that in the first episode. He sympathizes with the disability thing. I think you said that, Nick.
Yes, I listen, and now I've seen 2 more fucking episodes. So I'm not saying that that I'm 100% right here or whatever. I'm saying based on what I've seen so far, the way that he acts with all of these different people in his life, what would make Vic any different? Especially since Vic is the guy who does all of Oz's dirty work for him. He's his fucking butler, maid thing. He's his gopher. He's the guy who he has to do everything. And he uses, let me tell you something, that lunch scene, although beautifully written, beautifully acted, I thought everything about it was great. I think that you are being manipulated, RJ, by the Penguin. I'm not kidding. Hear me out.
Well,
Hear me out, though, because there is no way dude, listen. There is no way that Oz is trying to set Vic up for more success than himself. Agreed or no?
Oh, no, I agreed. Yeah.
Okay. So he's trying to keep Vic in line. But if Vic is working under him and he's stuttering and blubbering and doing all these different things and acting like a fucking idiot, he's never going to get anything done. Hold on. If he acts, that made me laugh. If he acts like a little girl around all of these mafia gangsters, right?
Like a bitch.
He's never going to get anything done. So when he said, and Vic even says to him after the waiter leaves, Vic says, "You don't have to do that." And Oz is like, "Yeah, but fuck them. Make them wait. Make your space known."
Stand on business.
He's creating an environment where Oz is this godlike, fatherly kind of figure for Oz's benefit. Let's not get that fucking twisted. Oz would never lay down. Oz isn't going to jump in front of a bullet for Vic. It's not going to happen, but he's setting it up so that if Vic doesn't jump in front of a bullet for him, he's going to make Vic feel like absolute dog shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Both things is what I'm saying. Oz is in it for himself, but he also cares about Vic.
Mark
I think that if
fucking words.
I think
he's gonna fuck Vic over.
If it was no, I'm not saying he wouldn't though, but I'm saying he would feel bad about it.
But maybe for a split second, maybe because he is a human.
Sure.
But I don't see that being realistic. The guy brought himself to tears, even though he fucked over the person he was talking about. Oh, it's not a big deal for you, but it's a big deal. It was totally manipulation, in my opinion. I guarantee you, there is something way more sinister lying underneath there. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Oz has a nice bone in his body. I think he does everything to his own benefit. That's my point. Go ahead.
I will say that after the episode, inside the episode, the writer says they talk about the scene where he's sitting there at the bar, and she says that he's developed an affinity for Vic.
I think I don't know.
Let's talk about affinities.
No,
let's talk about who's developed affinities for who.
I agree with that. I think the show has done a good job, and I think it's probably going to continue to, especially after the end of this episode, building that relationship between Oz and Vic. But I think they're building up. There's going to be like a Breaking Bad situation, like Walt and Jesse. they're good because I feel like a situation is gonna come where Oz is gonna have to screw over Vic, and like that's gonna be like the audience, like we're gonna hate that. But like you're right, because Oz is like a slime. You know, he's a dick. You know, he's gonna do what's best for him. But I think it will hurt him. I don't think he's gonna he's gonna be. But I think ultimately he will do what's best for him. But I think it's gonna hurt him, and it's gonna be like
Now,
a
these
big
are just
moment.
theories and
Yeah, I don't know.
opinions on the whole show. I will say that I think that it also kind of sets up the Oz-Sophia relationship, also sets up
that's a good one,
Vic to fuck Oz over in the end as well.
Oh,
Because
that'd be interesting.
then, now listen here, look at the dichotomy here. So you have Sophia Falcone, whose driver is now her partner, and Oz's current driver could someday be in a situation which we've seen now he's learning to manipulate too, because we've seen him with the cop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So he has moments where he's going to look out for himself as opposed to the other people. In with the Graciela thing, he doesn't get on the bus. He lets her go, but he totally lied to her and said, buy me a ticket and all this other stuff, and gave her a ton of cash.
Yeah.
So like these things are like they're all fucking criminals. Like it just would not shock me. It would not shock me if Sophia and Oz were doing something and then Vic's got to take the fall for something. It wouldn't
Yeah, I could see
shock me. That's all I'm saying. I think that Oz is out for himself. There might be some nice friendly banter that they have together, because you can't work in an environment where you don't have that,
I like banter.
right? If he was just constantly an asshole to Vic wouldn't want to work there. He would be like, I'm going. What the fuck? This is bullshit. I'm out. So he has to make him feel, which is why I say he's a master manipulator. He has to make him feel like he's part of the team. It's me. You're the egg, and I'm the penguin. Come sit on my feet. Let me walk around. There's this like fatherly bullshit, and Oz knows, and especially now that they've completely, Vic has emptied his soul out to Oz at that lunch scene, right? About what happened with the family and all the other shit and what his dad wanted to really do. Oz is going to use all of that information to Oz's benefit to manipulate Vic in the future, I would say. I don't know, based on what I've seen so far.
Well, we have seen the penguin be
And
nice.
I'm just saying that the writer of the show said he has an affinity for him.
An affinity is one thing, RJ, but changing your morals would change the character. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, but
That's
Nick,
all I'm saying.
what I said, I'm not disagreeing you that he would kill Vic if it meant gain for him. I'm just
Okay,
saying,
I wouldn't kill people, RJ, that I have an affinity for. Just saying. Okay? I got an affinity for Matt. I'm not going to kill Matt to better my own life. All right? I'm just saying.
Hey, listen, do what you
Speaking of
gotta
Matt,
do.
though,
understand.
I want
When it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah.
Matt's been bringing it. Matt, I gotta applaud you on the references, the comparisons.
Thank you.
Yeah, you brought
thanks,
it this
Matt.
episode. You're doing a good job,
Yeah,
kid.
no work. I'm in a
The-
good mood.
Yeah, there it is. There
But
it is.
the Breaking Bad one's good because I immediately thought of like Walt and Jesse,
That's
and
what
I
I
think
thought of,
it's like a really similar dynamic because
I agree.
Walt's completely in it for himself,
Yeah.
Mm.
but I do think that throughout that season he cares about Jesse. I think
Yeah.
he gets pissed off by him a lot, but I think like it's a fucked up moment, but I think it's something that Oz would do is when he sees Jane ODing in the bed. Spoilers
Exactly.
for Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
When he sees Jane ODing in the bed and he sees Jesse there, he lets her die because he thinks that will help Jesse escape the addiction. I think Oz would do the exact same thing if he saw Victor but it's like a fucked up way of caring about someone, right?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
But I
and
think they're very similar.
I agree 100%. And it's fucked up too, because like Walt, like it would, it benefits Walt to like have Jesse, and not high and like help and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree. I think Walt and Jesse is a pretty good comparison just so far.
Yeah.
We-
Yeah, go ahead. Go
We
ahead,
have we
Matt.
have seen the penguin care about people though, like his mom. So he is capable of caring
So
about
it is
people.
there, yeah.
I think it's really
Right.
only Vic and his mom. Like those are really the only people it seems like he has any kind of.
Well, I want to know what if they're gonna do anything. I'm sure they are, but what else are they gonna do with his mom in the show? Like,
Maybe-
is she gonna
maybe
get?
Sophia. I think
Maroni's gonna
Sophia's
get to
gonna
her or
kill her.
something? Yeah.
I think Sophia's gonna take, because now it seems Sophia and Oz will be against. I think Sophia could tap into, the mother.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, the more and more we talk about it, I think Sophia's gonna die. I think Oz will kill her.
Really? You think Sophia's going to go? See, that's yeah. I don't know. Okay, so
But
this
think about it from a. Well, I was just gonna say, I know she's become very popular and everyone loves her, but like when they made, they already made the show, so they didn't account for. I don't know if they anticipated her being such a big character, so I could see them have killing her. Not, maybe in retrospect they wish they didn't, but I don't know.
Mm. Yeah. No, I mean maybe. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I think that could be interesting.
I think if she kills the mom, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I listen. None of my critiques were like my opinions on Oz or anything like that. Mean that I don't like the show. I think it's fantastic. I think it's like a very.
This episode.
I think it's an extremely like well thought out, deep character for Oz to be what I think he is. And I don't think that you necessarily don't have to care about people to like to be a manipulate. Like what I'm saying is, I think he cares about Vic, but I think it's he exploits all of the stuff to make Vic do what he wants him to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, that's not a good person. That's not what a caring person does.
It's a very, very selfish person.
I didn't
That's
say he
what
was
I'm
a good
saying.
person.
That's
like
what
Walt.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a selfish person. That's why I'm saying I don't think that it's like real like care. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to care about people from like no matter what. It like
it's a fucked up way, you know?
Like it doesn't matter to you. Like okay, if RJ was getting a new job as an example, right?
Yes.
And he calls you and tells you about it. You're going to be like,
Lovely.
"Okay, great, good for you. I'm pumped." Then when he calls you and says they went a different direction, I'm very upset. I don't have the job anymore.
Fuck them.
You still care, and now it's fuck them and
Yes.
everything else, right? So this is my point. With Oz, I feel like he is like he kind of, I don't know. He said he was saying things to him to try to manipulate him about like how your father would be very proud of you for sticking up. And Vic's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like my father would be ashamed of the shit that I'm doing right now. Like it's fucking horrible. And then Oz hears that,
Very
realizes
situational.
what he says, and then kind of takes a different route to get Vic back on his side. Like the guy is a car salesman. Let's be honest here. Like he is a shisty fucking wheeling and dealing, swindling fuck who is out for himself. And I think it's a masterful character. And I think Colin Farrell does a fantastic job. And it doesn't make me like the show any less. I love the show. I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. I don't think that Oz isn't the person I'm going to ask to dress up as Santa Claus for the orphanage this year. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to, unless I'm going to give him $50 million and he'll take it, because then he'll do it. You know what I mean? Everything is about Oz's self-interest is what I'm saying. That's all.
No, I agree with that.
I think we should say, too, because we mentioned it last episode, how we felt that not in a bad way, but that the show is very on the nose, and that we kind of compared it how, like, with House of the Dragon, we can kind of really go in depth with stuff. But I think, based on what we've talked about this episode, like, I think this episode gave us so much to unpack. So I've kind of like now I think it totally reached a new level. You know what I'm saying?
As I was watching it, that was my exact thought. The first two episodes were like fine. Yeah. But it was like Cheerios. It was fine. It was okay. But this was that good shit. You know what I mean? This was that
cinnamon toast crunch.
This was that cinnamon toast crunch. Like, give me 5.
It went from Cheerios to Honey Nut.
Yeah.
Cheerios.
Like, give me. Yeah. No.
Listen, easy with the honey nuts.
With a little extra nut.
Yeah.
You know what
settle
I mean?
down. Go ahead.
Like keep that going. You know what I mean? No, No, I mean, it reached a new level. You know what I mean? I agree with RJ, and like, let's keep this shit going.
Me too. Listen, I
am
absolutely intrigued. I love characters like this. I think they're going to be awesome. I would be a little sad if Sophia didn't make it to the end of the series.
Me too.
I would love to see.
Love that psychopath.
So here's where. Okay, so now my annoyance meter, right? On certain things. Hear me out, dude. Hear me out, because I think the show's going great so far. And now I'm nitpicking on purpose because it's been so good. But I will say that if we don't see, I like Sophia, like the character, and we've seen a lot of her kind of holding back and doing some like breathing exercises when things get shitty, and she's kind of calming down and all this other stuff. But I really feel like she is trying to like force her emotions into a certain spot so she can contain that to keep that self-control.
You want to see a little hangman?
I want to see a little hangman. I want to see some hanging and banging.
She kills women.
I don't give a fuck who she kills. I want an explosion of rage. I want to see what's behind those giant eyes. Like, I want her to flip the fuck out, and I can't wait for that to happen.
I think I do too.
That
was nice. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it briefly, but when he explodes on Johnny Beatty, they cut to her face, and I think in that moment she's like, I think she sees the connection between them. They both have that level that they can go to.
Extremely short fuse. Extremely short fuse.
Yes,
but again,
and I think she gained a little respect there.
I think so. Gained respect for Oz, you mean?
Yeah, and fear a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, okay. I think, but again, this could be, and I
That
feel like
he's
we were
not a
talking about this.
pushover.
I feel like I was talking about this with the guys earlier. That my lovely producers, Max. I love that you guys wave every time I mention you. I love that. But I was talking about this with you guys a little bit earlier about how I think that okay, so first of all, what I was saying earlier, Oz, I think he does the thing with Johnny Vitti to kind of prove himself to Sophia. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that was a real like flip out. I think he was
Oh,
doing it to
yeah.
like prove to Sophia, like, I'm on your side, how you coward, whatever the fuck he was saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was genuine because going back to Oz's mom, she doesn't want him to be a nobody nothing. Like Oz's ego is his motivation. I think truly. Like
Okay.
he of course he wants like the glamour and the riches and all that, but he doesn't want to be a nobody because that's what his mom wants.
Right, he wants to be able to prove to his
Yeah.
mother that he can do it, whatever
So
it
if
is.
yeah, so if someone's like fuck, like you're a piece, like you're nothing. He's gonna like he will snap because that's the thing that does tick him off.
Well, we saw that in the very first scene of the very first episode because it's Alberto who
Yeah.
says, "This is your dream," and
Yeah.
like what an idiot you are for having a dream like this. And Oz is like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
you're done," you know. So I think that plays into it too, but I think that Sophia is. I really want to know what happens there. I want to know what happens with her.
What if she
So,
didn't? What
well,
if
I
she
wanna
genuinely
say-
didn't kill anybody?
Episode 4.
That would be disappointing, quite frankly, because it's a fucking comic book show.
Yeah.
So I would want. I listen. I don't want anybody to die. All right, there's tons of death and destruction in the world, but in this show,
In Gotham.
I want everyone. I want the boys. End of the season 2 when heads just start exploding. I want
Where's the
death
bat,
and
you know?
destruction. Okay, everywhere. That's what I want. Nobody knows death and
I think we'll
destruction
get it.
like me.
Gotham.
That's right.
Vengeance.
RJ, what do you think?
I do want to bring up too, because I had mentioned it last episode. We had that one scene with her and the therapist.
Yes, with the light
And
going back and forth.
With the light, and I thought that was interesting. I made some comparisons to potentially maybe Scarecrow and stuff. So I did a little diving.
Oh.
Right. So the guy's name's Julian Rush. That's the character's name, not in the comics, just a made up name for the show.
This is
But
the
I looked
therapist
at
you're
on
talking
the
about?
IMDb.
Is this this is the therapist you mean?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I looked on the IMDb, and apparently he's in 6 episodes. So we've seen him once. So he's clearly going to come back. And so his bio is Dr. Julian Rush is a psychiatrist at Arkham State Hospital and the therapist of Sophia Falcone. So I think he's going to play a role here. And I mean, listen, Matt Reeves hasn't been shy about changing characters' names, right? So he changed Oz's name. He changed in the comics, the Riddler's name is Edward Nygma, and then he changed it to Edward Nashton. So I mean, I could see him being maybe the Scarecrow or Hugo Strange, someone like that from the comics. I think we should look out for him. Is what I'm saying.
That'd be interesting. Maybe like he kind of turned her into the Hangman. You know what I mean? Kind of made her do all this shit with the drug.
I think he's manipulating her. I do.
Oh, see, I like that. That's actually, now I'm interested.
Very interesting. What happens with this Bliss drug? Is this going to have a major impact in the series or no?
I could see that definitely crossing over into the next movie.
Interesting. So the Bliss drug, they say that it's a euphoric feeling, but it's also Sophia says it makes people very submissive. And I wonder if they're going to have some sort of like army of the dead with this Bliss drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I could see it.
Something where they can control a lot of people. Go ahead.
Isn't the Bliss drug, it's like red, right?
It is red. It's red because it comes from the bleeding tooth mushroom.
There you go.
Bleeding teeth mushroom?
Right.
But
I wonder if the red light therapy thing, I wonder if he had any, because he's a doctor, I wonder if he had any control over that drug in Arkham and how it was given to patients.
Well, that's what I think. I think
I'm trying to connect some dots.
Well, no, that's what I think. I think he's like the guy. He's like he was like controlling Arkham with that drug. You know what I mean? Probably manipulating.
I'm reading this.
Sounds
They're
a
saying
lot like Hugo Strange.
the Bliss drug might bring in Poison Ivy.
Ooh,
that'd be cool.
That could be interesting.
Look, yeah, because of the mushrooms.
Yeah,
the Batman
bleeding tooth. You were right,
vegetation.
It's going to be the best fucking thing ever. I mean, this is all leading to the main event, Batman 2.
Right, and so that's the other thing too.
Man.
So I have a bad taste in my mouth because of season 2 of whatchamacall House of the Dragon, because the entire episode was one big edging session. You know what I mean?
It was.
Trying to get up. It's like big fucking goon squad over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything was like we're trying so hard to like get to this point of
Yeah.
like, just bust. What the fuck?
Just
What are we
climax
doing
already,
here?
you
You know
know?
what I mean?
And the
Just
foreplay.
enough. Enough is enough with the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, can we just? And they never did it. And honestly, no, I'll still watch season 3. I will. I will.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna
it's fucking 3 years from now, so I'll forget what happened in season
Yeah.
2 anyway. But
No,
like,
but
go
I
ahead,
think
RJ.
this
What?
show is a great example of House of the Dragon and just season 2, how like season 2 kept like meandering and stuff, and this one keeps up in the tempo each episode.
I was just
We're
gonna
not
say.
wasting
So
time.
I agree with
Yeah.
you 150%. I feel like this show does a great job of setting up little moments that lead to bigger moments that pay off within the episodes, right? So you had the heist thing, and then you have the little moment, drops your truck. Then the heist goes wrong. Then you have, you know what I mean? So like you see these moments as they're happening, and they're very easy to follow. But at the same time, all of these little moments are leading up to something really big, and I really, really fucking pray and hope that we get the big moments in the show, and they're not setting
No, we
everything
will.
up for this fucking movie. That will drive me
Yeah.
up a
No, we'll
wall
get
like
'em.
you've never fucking seen. Now, I'm not accusing.
We trust Matt Reeves.
I trust. We're trusting so far because it's been paying off so good. But I'm just saying. I remember that episode 3 of House of the Dragon season 2. I understand completely different people, different crew, different franchise, different thing altogether. But episode 3 of House of the Dragon season 2, we all came in and we were like, finally, this shit's
We're
actually
back.
starting to turn around. Ba, 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 ba. Like, this is going to be good. I'm
Yeah.
sorry that I flipped out and I just expected more. And we did all that fucking bullshit. And for 8 fucking weeks, it was fucking no nut after fucking dry tissues and fucking bullshit and hours of my life that I'll never fucking get back. So, like, when it comes to this stuff, I'm starting to go in with a little bit more of like a firewall here.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what are we doing here? What's going on here? Let's have some payoff. I don't know. Matt, what do you think?
I agree. I think the reason what gives me confidence and like there will be payoff is because this
What
is
is
like,
it? Your muscles that gives you
Well, no,
confidence?
no,
What gives
no,
you
no,
what
hey,
gives
now.
you confidence? The
it's,
hair?
It's one season. You know what I mean? It's 8 episodes. So I'm like,
It is a miniseries.
They
You're
they might be like a little thing, like in the Batman, like he keeps saying like Penguin's gonna be like the Kingpin by the end of it. But like I feel like the story within this show will be resolved at the end of episode 8. You know, the story of Oz, Vic, and Sophia, that story of them 3 and like all their everything going on right now, that'll be resolved. I'm confident. Fuck House of the Dragon.
Really? No season 3 for you?
No, I'll watch.
No,
I'll
Yeah,
watch.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah.
RJ, what do you think? Am I completely off
No,
base here or what?
I agree with Matt in terms of I think that
Most
there's
do.
going to be a resolution. I think that Matt Reeves clearly initiated this series so that he could get Oz to a position where he wants him in Batman, the next movie. So I think, I think he's going to be at the top of the game. And like we said, I'm not saying these characters can't cross over, but I'm saying that they're going to have reduce roles or they're going to have to be clever about it, which I trust Matt Reeves about how it's going to cross over,
Yeah, no, and he hasn't let us down so far. I mean, I think everything is going good. I'm
much.
just saying, with these series, like, I don't know. Listen.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's why we're here to talk about it.
That's right.
And
We're
to
here
judge
to
it,
discuss.
you know?
We're here to make it all work,
Listen,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have you have anything else, RJ? Are you good? Can I do a little outro here?
No,
What do you
that was
think?
it. Great episode.
I think it was
I
great.
just
I'm
saw,
looking forward to next week.
I kind of got everything out.
The
Just-
Movie Mob premieres Fridays at 6 p.m.
That's right.
right here on the Wilco Media YouTube channel. Be sure that you like and subscribe. Leave comments. We have been getting a couple of comments. We got some
questions.
Yep, we got some questions. RJ, do you want to read those off while we're here? We can do that
You
now.
got questions?
Wait, we have questions?
No, I was asking if that you said we had questions. If you have one.
No, I said comment questions.
Oh, if you have
it.
questions for us or
Yeah,
you want our takes
yeah.
on things, please do. We appreciate it. Eden, good to have you.
She commented?
No, but she
Oh.
likes my stories on Instagram when I say, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eden's
Great.
great.
We love
Eden's great. We love Eden. Don't be afraid to toss a comment in there. We appreciate you when you do.
Yeah.
And no, everything's great. Very important, I will say. Stuff that there's about to be a huge hurricane in Florida and Tampa. So if you're out there, be safe. North Carolina, if you can find a way to donate or help, you absolutely should. And make sure I don't give a shit what side you're on. This came up 3 times in the past week since we recorded our last show. And I know one of the people who asked me watches this, and I know that their friends do as well. You need to make sure, whatever side you're on, I don't give a shit, that you register to vote. You cannot just show up and vote. You have to register ahead of time. It is crucially important. So whatever you want to do, we got the election coming up. If you're in America, make sure you register before you go vote. And then, if you think
Nick,
you've already
who's paying
registered,
you and why am I not getting any?
if you think you've already registered, make sure, go back, make sure you're registered, because it would be very detrimental if a bunch of people show up and then they just say, no, you can't vote here. It'd be horrible. So make sure you do that. Super important. Yep, moving up. Friday, 6 p.m. Next week, we're going to be talking about episode 4. Hopefully, we'll all be very happy and excited, just as we have been for the past 3 weeks. And Matt, you have anything else?
Yeah, I saw Dua Lipa 2 days ago
How was that?
at a music festival in Austin, Texas. Dude, I was so close to
Nice.
her. Maybe I'll post a video here in this video. I'll show you a little clip.
Yeah, sure. We'll cut to a clip
Yeah, yeah.
here.
Fucking awesome. She was so close, dude. She kind of pointed like right. It wasn't at me, but it was like right there. Like if I had a football, could have nailed her in the face. I was so close. It was awesome. She's the best.
Good
And
spiral.
How was the festival?
oh, dude, it was sick. It was 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Sun beating down on you. You're sweating, but you're like, Dua Lipa. It's worth it. You know what I mean? Just a good time. It was a good vibe. And you know what I mean? It's just, it was great. It was a great time.
Yeah, I'm glad
Love
you had a
Dua.
fun time. That's
Thanks, man.
good. RJ, have you done anything fun? I feel like you're always like, oh yeah, I got this concert, I got this thing I got to do, I got
was
this
Hans
comedy
Zimmer?
show. I feel like you
Hans
always
Zimmer.
have shit. Yeah, how was Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer was good. I ran into Zack Snyder.
Yes, you did. We'll put that
We'll post a
photo in
picture.
right here.
It's actually funny. I had a few beers and
With Zack
so
Snyder?
So
That would have been cool.
no. Beforehand, so I thought the best thing to say to Zack Snyder when I meet him is to complain about Hans Zimmer. So
Oh.
I said, damn man, I wish he did more music from Batman v Superman. And then I think Zach just didn't really want to comment on that, so he's like, And then I redeemed myself.
Climactic
And then
story you
I
have
said,
there.
"Sni-"
That's
And I
good.
said Snyder cut, and I shook his hand. He walked away.
Yeah.
So I think he appreciated
There
it.
you
I
go.
redeemed myself. But yeah, I complained. I complained about Hans. Yeah.
Jeez.
That is the most guinea thing you've ever done in your life. You meet somebody
Yeah.
who's like a hero or whatever when it comes to filmmaking and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And the first thing out of your mouth, it's so New England. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's so New
Well,
England
no,
to
I
meet
think
somebody famous and
I
go,
was-
listen, they really fucked up with this fucking thing, didn't they, guy? You know what I mean? Like, is that not
Well,
true?
I said,
Like, how
I
you're
was
from
like, "No, I wish they
Massachusetts.
did more Batman v Superman.
You know you're from Massachusetts when you meet a famous person. The first thing you do is complain about how other people fucked that guy over. Listen, I was on your side
Right.
the whole time here, right, kid? Like that's so New England to me. You know what I mean?
It is.
That's fantastic. That's cool.
Good
Was
guy.
he pleasant at least? Was he a nice guy or was he a dick?
No, it was very quick.
That's cool.
Yeah, but he was walking in the concourse with like everyone else as everyone was leaving.
Yeah, that's
You know,
cool.
what a
And
normal
you
dude,
saw,
you know?
so you
Yeah.
saw Hans Zimmer though. Was it fantastic? You've seen a lot of people, Andrea Bocelli,
yeah.
a whole bunch of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
no,
was he doing?
great.
He was just
If he-
conducting or what?
Put
Yeah,
some
he
time.
does. He does. I mean, he's got so many movies. He can't fit them all in, but he does the bangers: Dark Knight, Interstellar,
Oh.
Inception, Gladiator,
Dune.
Mhm.
Lion King.
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
he has
it's
all
worth
the.
I think
He doesn't have all the bangers. John Williams is like way up there. with
no, yeah, but modern. I'd say he's the king of the modern.
Past 25
movies.
years.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Pirates
that's
of the
fair.
Caribbean. Yeah.
Fair assessment. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. Imagine if you were the guy that wrote that.
Dun, dun,
Did
dun,
Hans
dun,
Zimmer
dun.
do the music for Harry Potter?
That was John Williams.
John
No,
Williams.
that was
that's
John
what
Williams.
Williams.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I
John
guess
Williams
it's-
had like the OG franchise:
Jurassic
Star Wars,
Park.
Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park,
Yeah, the
all the
OGs.
Spielbergs.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, go see Hans Zimmer. I think he's in Europe now. So
Oh, sure. I'll just hop on
Take
a
a flight.
fucking plane. Yeah, no problem. All right, cool. That's good shit. All right, moving up. 6 p.m. Fridays next week, episode 4. Make sure you're watching. Hit your little notification bell or don't, or, whatever. And we'll see you then. RJ.
how you doing?